Hello friends, today we learn regarding peripheral vascular disease of a cardiovascular system. In that, today's topic is arteriosclerosis obliterans. वीडियो स्टार्ट करने से पहले मैं कहना चाहूँगी प्लीज़ अगर आपको मेरा ये वीडियो पसंद आए तो इसे लाइक शेयर एंड सब्सक्राइब करना ना भूलें. Now we start about the arteries are thick walled vessels that transport oxygen and blood via the aorta from the heart to the tissues. Three layers of arteries includes inner layer of the endothelium, that is intima, then middle layer of connective tissue, smooth muscle and elastic fibers, that is media, then third one is the outer layer of the connective tissue, it is called as a adventitia, have smooth muscles that contracts and relax to respond changes in blood volume. Now, veins are thin-walled vessels that transport deoxygenated blood from the capillaries back to the right side of the heart. In that three layers includes intima, media and adventitia. There is a little smooth muscle connective tissue. It makes the vein more distensible, so they accumulate large volumes of blood. Major veins, particularly in the lower extremities, have one-way valves, as you can see in a figure, allow blood flow against the gravity. Valves allow blood to be pumped back to the heart but prevent it from draining back into the periphery. Now we start peripheral vascular disease. It is characterized by a reduction in blood flow and hence oxygen through the peripheral vessels. When the need of the tissues for oxygen exceeds the supply, areas of ischemia and necrosis will develop. Then factors that can contribute to the development of peripheral vascular disorders includes the atherosclerotic changes, thrombus formation, embolization, increased coagulability of blood, then hypertension, inflammatory process, that is infection, then arterial insufficiency, in that there is a decreased blood flow towards the tissues producing ischemia. Pulses are one usually diminished or absent. Sharp stabbing pain occurs because of the ischemia, particularly with activity. There is interference with nutrients and oxygen arriving to the tissues, leading to ischemic ulcers and changes in the skin. Then for the venous insufficiency, there is a diseased return of blood from the tissues to the heart. It leads to venous congestion and stasis of blood. Then pulses are present, leads to edema, skin changes and stasis ulcers. Now, risk factors includes age, blood vessels become less elastic, become thin walled and calcified. So, it increases the chances of peripheral vascular resistance and increased blood pressure. Then sex, that is the male. Then cigarette smoking, nicotine causes vasoconstriction and spasm of the arteries. So, it decreases circulation to the extremities. Then carbon dioxide inhaled in cigarette smoke reduces oxygen transport to tissues. Then hypertension, it causes elastic tissues to be replaced by fibrous collagen tissue. So it leads to arterial wall become less distensible. So it increases resistance to blood flow and increase the blood pressure. Then hyperlipidemia, that is the atherosclerotic plague. Then obesity, it places added burden on the heart and blood vessels. Excess fat contribute to increased venous congestion. Then other risk factors includes the lack of physical activity. Then emotional stress, it stimulates sympathetic nervous system, so peripheral vasoconstriction occur and it leads to increased blood pressure. Then diabetes mellitus, it changes in glucose and fat metabolism, so it promotes the atherosclerotic process. Then family history of atherosclerosis. So these all are the risk factors. Now we start. Arteriosclerosis obliterans is a disorder in which there is an arteriosclerotic narrowing or obstruction of the inner and middle layer of the artery. It most common cause of arterial obstructive disease in the extremities. The lower extremities are involved more than upper extremities. Then common sites of disease includes the femoral artery, iliac arteries and popliteal arteries. Then inner diabetic, the disease becomes more progressive, affects the smaller arteries and often involves the vessels below the knee. As you can see in a figure, arteries become narrowed and blood flow decreases in arteriosclerosis. So buildup of a fatty substance in the wall of the artery. Now pathophysiology includes plaque formation on the intimal wall that causes partial or complete occlusion. Then it leads to calcification of the medial layer and a gradual loss of elasticity. So that's why weakens the arterial walls. Then predisposes to aneurysm, dilation or thrombus formation may occur. Then artery is unable to transport an adequate blood volume to the tissues during exercise or rest. So symptoms may appear when the blood vessels can no longer provide enough blood to supply oxygen and nutrients and remove metabolic waste products. Now clinical manifestations includes intermittent claudication is the most common symptoms, in that pain in the extremity that develops in a muscles that has an inadequate blood supply during exercise. Then the cramping pain disappear within 1 to 2 minutes after stopping the exercise or resting. Then the femoral artery is often affected. Pain in the calf muscles is a common symptoms in a intermittent claudication. Then pain at rest is indicative of a severe disease, that is grinding, burning pain occur more frequently at night. Then feeling of coldness, numbness, tingling sensation, advanced arteriosclerosis obliterans. It leads to ischemia, may lead to necrosis, ulceration and gangrene of a toes and distal foot. Now diagnostic test includes the Doppler ultrasonography, that is high frequency sound waves directed to artery or veins through a handheld transducer moved evenly across skin surface. Audible tone produced in proportion to blood velocity. It measures blood flow through the vessels. Now, as you can see in a figure, in the upper extremity and lower extremity, for a ultrasound, Doppler ultrasound amplifies the sound of arterial blood flow is recorded in the brachial artery of the arm with the help of blood pressure cuff. And for the lower extremities, sound of arterial blood flow located in ankle is recorded with the use of a blood pressure cuff. In that, pressure recorded in arteries of the ankle after each arterial flow is located. Now, management includes directed towards prevention of vessel occlusion, use of vasodilators, and surgical interventions includes in advanced disease, ischemic changes and pain severely impairs activity. And surgical management includes embolectomy. It is removal of a blood clot done when the large arteries are obstructed. Then endarterectomy. It is a removal of a blood clot and stripping of a atherosclerotic plaque along with the inner arterial wall. Then arterial bypass surgery. An obstructed arterial segment may be bypassed by using a prosthetic material, that is Teflon, or the patient's own artery or vein, that is the saphenous vein, that is arterial bypass surgery. Okay, as you can see in a figure, endarterectomy, in that identifies the disease area. In the procedure, clamps of the blood supply to the vessels. Then after that removes the plaque formation and again sutures the vessel shut, after which blood flow is restored. Okay, so this is the endarterectomy. Okay, as you can see in a figure, saphenous vein bypass plaque. Now, other management includes percutaneous transluminal angioplasty, that is the balloon tip of the catheter is inflated to provide compression of the plaque. Then amputations with advanced atherosclerosis and gangrene of extremities. Toes are the most often amputated part of the body. The surgical goal is to remove the at least amount of tissue possible and create a stump adequate for the fitting of a prosthesis. Now, assessment includes condition of the skin. For the shiny, taut, absence of hair growth, it indicates poor circulation. Then assess for the ulceration or necrotic tissues. Then extremities for cold to touch. Then peripheral pulses, diminished, weak, absent, bilateral inequality. Then we have to give grading, in that 0 is for absent, 1 plus and weak and 3D pulse, then 2 plus for normal pulse, and 3 plus for full and bounding pulse. Then prolonged or absent capillary refill of nail beds, the loss of muscle tone or weakness. Now, nursing interventions to prevent further progression of existing disease. For that, acute care, monitor the limb distal to the affected site for changes in color or temperature. In that, decreased arterial flow when pale and cool extremities are there, then bluish and darker color tissue become necrotic and black. Then activities that cause pains will be avoided. Then give vasodilators if prescribed for relaxation of vascular smooth muscles, so it decreases the pain. Then comfort measures, proper body positioning to decrease pressure on affected area. Now, post-operative care for a arterial surgery. In that, patient is monitored for signs of decreased circulation in the affected limb and interventions done to promote circulation and comfort. First interventions, assess and report changes in skin color and temperature distal to the surgical site every 2 to 4 hourly. Then assess peripheral pulses. For sudden absence of pulse may indicate thrombosis. Then mark location of pulse with a pen to facilitate frequent assessment. Use a Doppler if pulse is difficult to palpate. Then assess wound for redness, swelling and drainage. Then promote circulation. For that, reposition patient every 2 hourly. Then tell patient not to cross legs. Encourage progressive activity when permitted. Then medication with analgesics to reduce the pain. Now, arterial bypass surgery. In that, post-operative care includes assess sensation and movement of the limb, monitor extremity for edema, monitor and report signs of complications for increasing pain, fever, limitation of movement or paresthesia. Then avoid sharp flexion in the area of the graft to prevent decreased circulation to the graft. Thank you friends. Hope you like a video. प्लीज़ अगर आपको कोई कमेंट करना हो तो कमेंट बॉक्स में जाके कमेंट करें.